with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chair Mayor. I'd like to move to approve tonight's agenda.
If I second it.
Second, Sarah, any discussion? Is that all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so where are we doing public comments? Are they just gonna get the microphone? So, for public comment, please keep your comments to 3 minutes, so I believe we have a timer that'll buzz. And please be respectful and stop. You state your name and your board or your address if you're not from the city. You know karaoke song or something? Karaoke rock.
No, I won't. Karaoke kills the musician. I'm Will Russell. I work in Ward 5 and I live in Aberdeen. So I just want to tell you real quick that June 21st is World Music Day. Many of you know that, but if you don't, it's really important to this town. We have celebrities coming. I'm asking Aberdeen, I'm asking the area, please be as hospitable as you can. Is that the right word? We want to show really good hospitality to our guests. We don't need another Metallica incident. So there'll be a lot going on that day. You are all invited down. You guys are, what do you bring your kids, have your kids play a kazoo. Mayor made a bass plate last year. So if you want to know more, it's your zip code.org. You can't remember that, right? You can. It's right on her shirt, 952.org. So I also want to say that this effort takes a lot of people. If you have any idea how many people are involved, but a lot of city people are involved, a lot of businesses and a lot of people from around the area, all the way to Seattle put it on. So it is for us. It's not a showcase to show how good someone can play guitar. It is to have a family fun moment in Aberdeen. And on that day, there is no us and them. It is all us. It's World Music Day. The last thing I want to say, which will take a little bit of guts. I loved when we prayed for the mayor. I just thought that was amazing. It happened in this building. I wish they would have prayed for all of you. So I'll do it. Lord, I ask you to watch over our council here in Aberdeen. And I don't really know what to say, but give them wisdom, encourage. And I pray that this town embraces our council and our council embraces this town and we'll have an Aberdeen like no one has seen. Amen.
Thank you. So,
I'm tired now, you guys are getting more comfortable. I just wanted to say thank you to Ruth for actually listening to the people of Aberdeen today. I'm taken care of, and you have no idea the importance of listening and hearing what people say and not shutting them down and shutting them out. So thank you so much.
anybody else?
My name is Maria. I moved here in October of 22. And I just have a question. Is there a reason why the trains are very loud at certain times, especially even in the middle of the night? That's all I'm gonna know.
I can tell you when it's clouds, when it's cloudier, the trains are loud. The sound bounces back down. Do you hear the fog?
They are required by law at each crossing because Aberdeen doesn't have built-in safety mechanisms like where the bars drop at every crossing. So they're required to do a certain number of honks and, you know, there's a lot of crossings throughout Aberdeen. So that's what you're hearing. Yeah.
Okay, that's like, thank you.
Yeah.
We just have people that have got hurt on tracks too.
Got it.
Yeah, so they try to wake you up. They're waking me up. So probably do too.
So I'm getting better. But,
You stop hearing.
I got better.
Is there any more comment? Oh. If you want to listen.
I'm Mark Klein, Ward 3, so Ms. Ellis, Mr. Prado are my reps. And part of the process with the homeless camp is having the diversity of opinions on that committee. And I've seen on Facebook in various groups, there's following Aberdeen this and Grace Harbor that. So I follow about 3 or 4 different to get kind of a good cross section of what's going on with the process, how we make the sausage here. So I would like to see Casey and what was the lady, the social lady? Yeah, great person, great. I dealt with her in the county at the courthouse. She comes into drug court, super nice lady. I want to see as many different opinions on, hey, this camp is the best thing since sliced bread, or this is a horrible idea. If you remove all of those voices, what do you have? A bunch of yes people. And we know how that goes with leadership when leaders only hear what they want to hear, Putin or Stalin, whoever, Hitler, doesn't matter. If they never hear anybody tell them that's a bad idea, sir, we might want to reconsider and do something and still have the goal in mind, but maybe move in a different direction. It's not character assassination. I'm not going after any committee members. Because it's a hard job. I was going to be a council member, and I understand you're not going to make everybody happy all the time. Please don't take it as a character assassination, okay? But as a taxpayer, local, city, county, state, federal, I have skin in the game, okay? So if this project's going to cost millions of dollars stretched over 20 years, I think that's worthy of us paying due diligence to it and making sure it's the right fit for us and that we're not taking the whole burden on from the county. Now, I know there's going to be funding from other sources, but that needs to be clarified as we go forward and find a suitable spot, wherever it is. If it's not Junction City, wherever it may be, or whatever way it takes shape. So I am not for Junction City. I think I made that clear 3 meetings ago, 2 meetings, whatever the meeting was. Or got a little boisterous, right? But people, it's an emotional thing. I've lived in this town for 5 years. So I'm not Mr. I grew up in Grace Harbor and went to grade school here, but I've lived up and down the West Coast, Cali, Oregon, Arizona. So I know this problem is not unique to Washington. We all have to deal with it. So please keep an open mind with the committee assignments. Don't kick people off that are doing a good job, even if it's not what you want to hear. Does that make sense? Am I clear? That's what my wife and I would like to see. We know a lot of the council members. I respect a lot of the council members that have been grinding for the amount of time I've been here. All right, you guys do a good job, and usually most people don't bother to show up to meetings. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm William Perry, and I live in Aberdeen most of my life. And my business is down on F Street, which was a historic part of town. And I'm here. I missed most of the meetings, but I'm here to tell you that things are not good down there, and they're getting worse every day. So 3 years ago, and I give kudos to the police and fire department, but they're not able to do their job because they're not getting guidance from the council. And I know some of you come down there and bring them food and supplies. This is not a drug problem, or this is a drug problem. It's not a homeless problem. We can't get in and out of where our building used to be. We have trucks coming in and out every day, and they're blocked now by motorhomes that cannot be moved because of new ordinances. And I hate to say it, but I grew up thinking that ordinances and laws apply to everyone equally. This is the United States of America, not to a select group of people, whether they're inappropriately funded or not. So You all know what's going on down there, and you're all looking the other way because you all live up on the hill near me. And it's all great, except that I have to go to work every day, and someday there are going to be no businesses left in Aberdeen at all. And Doug is right on top of that because he has to put up with all that crap too. So allowing people to live on the street and allowing people up against our building with propane tanks and fires in the alley and the streets and the right of ways is not the appropriate way for a council to allow a city to run. And if you continue to do it, be no city, there'll be none of these 100,000 a year jobs plus. It's all going to go away. You're all going to end up like Cosmopolis. You're going to end up with no funding because Rocklands and Willis and Quiggs, and I can name about 3 others, have a lot more clout than we do, and they have just as many problems. So all of you sit there, and most of you have never been down there, except the ones that bring food and all of that stuff down there for these people. If you want to come down and watch the drug dealing, that's great. And if you think it's appropriate, that's even greater, except that go find a park for them to live in or somewhere near you, not where we're trying to do business. So we reached a point now where there is nowhere to park because you have 3 motorhomes and 2 campers and any number of people coming and going during the day. And there's an ordinance that says they can't be there, but there's now a new ruling that says you can't move them. The fire department came 2 days ago and said, no, they can't be up against our building, and you know they can't. You all know they can't be up against our building with propane tanks and tents and all the crap. We can't even hardly dump our dumpster because we have so much garbage every day to clean up. So you've got an alley blocked, you've got a city street blocked back there, and you know it's growing every single day. And these people are not from Grace Harbor, they're not from Aberdeen or Hope River. They're from everywhere else. So it's all. Okay.
Thank you.
There any other public comment?
Hi, everyone. Anastasia Osorio. I just wanted to come up and tell each and every one of you, thank you for being of service to this community. I'll just tell a little story because I have a lot of experiences here and I'm really trying to be active in the community and make things better. But going to the City of Aberdeen Library is pretty uncomfortable. I don't know if any of you have used our local library recently. I had an experience, well, just walking in, there's open air drug use and people just hanging out, looking at you sideways, and you don't feel super safe because these people are desperate and desperation makes people do terrible things sometimes. So I don't feel safe. Well, I go in there to make some copies because I do business, real estate business, and I like to use my local library. In fact, I tell everybody to go there and utilize the benefits that are given to all of us. There's lots of free resources. Go to the library and check it out. There was a man surfing on Facebook, and he was watching very inappropriate things like twerking videos, very open. And he was slumped down in his chair with his hand down his pants while he was watching that. Well, I was in a rush and I could really kick myself for not going to the people that run the library and say, you know, look over there and check this out. But I can guarantee that guy probably goes in there and does that frequently. So if you have little ones and you go to the library, just keep your head on a swivel. And just keep an eye out for things like that. And I did the wrong thing. I should have said something right then, but I was in a rush and I did a double take and I was like, I'm out the door. I was in a hurry. So just keep an eye out for those things. Otherwise, go Aberdeen. Let's do it. Anytime Fitness, join for $1.
Thank you.
I move that we approve tonight's consent agenda, which includes minutes from the April 24th meeting, accounts payable, payroll, and the April homelessness expense report.
It's second, is there any discussion? Ethan, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Presentations. None. Okay, rather there.
You had them all last today.
I have, so the mayor's report, you see some two, proclamations here, so bear with me while I read these, please. The proclamation of the city of Aberdeen, Washington, designating the week of May 5/11/2024 as Public Service Recognition Week in the city of Aberdeen, Washington. Whereas Americans are served every single day by public servants at the federal, state, county, and city level. The unsung heroes do the work that keeps our nation working, and whereas public employees take not only jobs but oaths, whereas public service is an honorable calling that involves a wide variety of professionals and volunteer roles, include military personnel, teachers, doctors, social workers, astronauts, laborers, computer technicians, and countless other occupations all across this great nation. And whereas the public employees of the city of Aberdeen include police officers, firefighters, paramedics, accountants, building inspectors, water and sewer operators, human resource professionals, maintenance workers, park and recreation workers, and many other occupations, day in and day out, they provide comprehensive services demanded by the community of their government with efficiency and dedication. Dedicated volunteers who serve the city of Aberdeen and the committee boards and commissions inform and advise policymakers and are integral to the advancement of the quality of life for all residents in our great city. And whereas without these public servants at every level, continuity would be impossible in this democracy that regularly changes its leaders and elected officials. Whereas excellence in the delivery of public service helps keep them happy, strong, prosperous, in a wonderful place for all to live and work and raise families and business. And whereas the city of Aberdeen recognizes the generous contributions of time and talent by public employees and community volunteers, and the importance of the service they render to our daily lives. Now, therefore, I, Douglas Thorne, Mayor of the City of Aberdeen, Washington, on behalf of the Aberdeen City Council, proclaim May 5/11/2024 as Public Service Recognition Week in the City of Aberdeen. Together, we recognize the accomplishments and contributions of the public employees and volunteers here in Aberdeen and around the world. Signed this 8th day of May 2024, Douglas Thorne, Mayor, City of Aberdeen. Somebody like to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Right, so we declare that it passes the proclamation of the City of Aberdeen. You designated the week of named it to the elected as public service recognition. Okay. Thank you. And one more, so sorry. A proclamation of the City of Aberdeen, Washington, designating the month of May 2024 as Older Americans Month in the City of Aberdeen, Washington. Whereas since 1963, May is annually recognized as Older Americans Month and important to the administration for the community living. This year's theme is Powered by Connection, which recognizes the profound impact that meaningful relationships and social connections have on our health and our well-being. And whereas adults 65 years of age and older make up 15% of Aberdeen's total population, we know that social and civic participation and social inclusion are important for the health and livability of the community, enabling its members to age in peace. And whereas the City of Aberdeen a broad network of community-based organizations, including senior centers, provides a wide range of services to meet the needs of older adults, such as healthy meals, food-based opportunities for engagement, recreation, social, and community action, health and wellness programming, and information and access to other services and supports that help local older adults to successfully age in place. And whereas the city of Aberdeen recognizes the need to create a viable, age-friendly community that offers older adults the opportunity to healthily age in place, we honor our seniors whose lifetimes of hard work, devotion to family, and commitment to community have laid the foundation for the county and the country we are in today. And whereas we urge every resident to join us in celebrating and recognizing the contributions of the city of Aberdeen's older citizens and in promoting programs and activities that foster connection, inclusion, and support for older adults. And now therefore be it proclaimed on this 8th day of May 2024, we, the city of Aberdeen, proclaim May 24 is Older Americans Month in the city of Aberdeen, Washington. Find this 8th day of May 2024. Do I, can I get a motion for celebration?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, I heard no. Okay, is there your discussion? That's all right, all in favor? Opposed? Right, this passes and May is now Older Americans, but this year anyway, in the city of Aberdeen. Thank you. All right, so now I guess there's other things I could say, but we'll move on if we want this. Maybe council reports. Councilman Nelson, Microphone. Oh, okay. Are there any council members who'd like to name the report? No? Okay, let's go to staff reports and city administrator room. Sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you, on your desks, you have, there were some questions that were posed about the contract between the city of Aberdeen and LeMays. I took those from the emails that I sent to LeMays. They answered those questions for you. That's in front of you. There was also a piece missing in there, which was Exhibit A. That's also included. So I wanted to check in with you. I have Roger Swallander here with us as well. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, we're happy to answer those right now for you. Otherwise, I will bring this back to the council for any further discussion and a motion at the next meeting.
I have some questions from Exhibit A. So the 2024 rate for both the 65-gallon can and the 30-gallon can monthly is the same. Just wondering why the smaller can doesn't get a lower rate.
Those rates. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, please answer, yeah.
Those rates are one gap in place right now, which is an extended day that I gave you. So those are down. The way that's structured, I apologize, and I can't speak to that. That was in the way that's brought across. So that is.
So that can be renegotiated as part of the contract going forward.
We can, right now, that's what we're, that exhibit A is just identifying what your exhibit A looks like right now.
Okay.
And then if the contract is signed and proceed, then every year it will do exhibit A because the rates adjust per year for the contract. So they're still, yeah, they're still do that. And it's.
And can you speak to the spring cleanup? Has there ever been a time when the whole 55,000 or whatever it is haven't been spent?
Hasn't been spent? That happened, talking right here. This year compared to all the other ones. If you don't mind giving them one, I can tell you, there was a period, a few years back. see. Actually, no. All the way back to 2016, we've had a record deal right here.
All right.
So, no.
And I also noticed that for that, spring cleanup, there isn't an adjustment for inflation that's factored in.
Yeah, there is. So in there, so going forward, the cost of the tip fee. So the percentage of the tip fee pretty much designates how many times you're able to go through spring cleanup. And so as the increase of the tip fee goes up, there's an adjustment to that number.
Okay, very good.
So,
And then, last question. There's a senior discount, offered per month, and given that we just made a senior month, is that open to all seniors, or is there a income level that,
also the designation of that, the government's designation of 65.
okay,
And that's the same senior rate that we have to cost all those.
so all you seniors out there, make sure you're paying the lower rate.
That's not fair, we said in contract, not the next. Just throw that.
That would be in 2025. That's what this contract.
Thank you.
I'm really pleased to see that senior discount work in there, but I was under the understanding that, not only was there going to be a senior discount, but also a low income discount,
What?
low income discount.
I don't know.
Was that ever discussed?
No, I thought it was just the senior rate.
Oh, I thought that we had discussed senior and low income.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that can be reviewed or negotiated.
I would be able to look at and see what all that, I can't just speak to tonight.
Sure.
Never really been involved in anything of that or heard that. So, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, big enough, no.
make a note of it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions on this? Okay, I will bring this back to the council for consideration at the next meeting. I'll work further with Roger on these items from tonight. And we'll talk about the low income rate
Yeah.
if that's feasible. So, tomorrow is the, safety and health and safety cleanup down at the camp. And we'll be cleaning up along State Street and the Riverside camp. And then, so that will be going on tomorrow. I do not believe that DOT will be assisting us with that, so it will strictly be, City of Aberdeen employees. Thank you all for making the adjustments. As you know, we're out of our elevator is no longer working, and will need to be replaced. We estimate that may take up to a year to replace because the hydraulic system the whole system will need to be gutted, and we'll have to implement a more modern system into it, which is a really timely process, and we'll have to get parts from around the nation to get that done. In the meantime, Becca and I are working on a location, a more long-term location, and the location has to fit everything that we need electronically. We need things like Wi-Fi, we need microphones, we need enough space to seat 12 council members facing an audience, those sort of things. So we have a checklist and we have about 10 to 12 locations that we're considering. Becca's reached out to a lot of people today, and we'll continue to work on that. So for the next couple meetings, that includes next week's budget meeting that will be here at the Log Pavilion, as well as the meeting on the 22nd. Oh, no, not the meeting on the 22nd. So we're working something out with the college as well. So we're looking at all different options around the city. So more to come. We'll make sure we communicate with you as things change, and we'll get those dates to you as we solidify where we're going to land. So thank you all. Are there any questions about that? All right. Thank you.
Are there any directors of the board? Yeah. Okay. Move on, okay. Request for council action. Vice Chair Ellis for finance, please.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 2 reports on the agenda today. First is a request from finance recommending that the city council authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with Civic Plus to purchase their next request public records software.
I think we.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? None, all in favor? Oh, wait, hold on, I'm sorry. Could you just explain to me what it does? Is it just supposed to read your access to the records or?
Yeah, this is a service that, is set up specifically to respond to public records requests. And, they're able to do that in a very, economical and timely way.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been having a little bit of problem with some people asking for things, but just is so time consuming. We just don't have employees set aside to dedicate that amount of time. This will really help. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes.
And then we have a request from finance recommending that the city council authorize the mayor to sign the extended and modified agreement with the city of Cosmopolis for accounting assistance through August 31st, 2024. I move we adopt this report.
Second.
It's been moved to second. Is there any discussion on this?
So the city of Cosmopolis has moved forward. They did hire, or they're interviewing people right now. They needed the full month to like really kind of get back. And so they are hiring people to cover these duties. So they're well on their way. So, as they, maybe by next month, they won't need as much assistance. It'll just be kind of maybe training and then we'll be done. We should hopefully be done.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Now we'll move on to public safety with Chairperson Caution.
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and read the, fire department report and the police department report, and, Casey Morrison is going to go ahead and read the public hearing notes for us, so I'll just go over the police department report with you. Police chief let me know that the DUIs have doubled, and we're getting lots of traffic stops, so we've got the police out there stopping the traffic, the people who are driving intoxicated, so that's, I love to hear that, that's great. They've had 12,625 so far this year calls, and they're up from last year. About 20% of those calls are proactive traffic stops. And we have 77 arrests for DUI offenses so far this year compared to 35 last year. And we responded to 103 calls in State and River Street in April. So that's a lot of calls down the count. Hopefully we can do something about that. The first 3 weeks of data from the westbound radar sign on the bluff at Wishcott Streets are in. They have over 103,000 cars come in, and that's in about a 20-day period. And we're not even in the prime time of the year. So we get lots of people coming into Aberdeen, and it would be nice to have them be able to stay here and shopping and eat some things. They went past the signs, and 84% of the vehicles were traveling under 40 miles an hour, which is what they're supposed to be doing. We think that sign really helps when they're able to see what speed they're going to get them to slow down. The State Street sign is up and running as well, and they're gonna have that down next month. And I know that helps me slow down. I hope it helps you guys slow down as well. And they're doing background investigations for the two police officers they're still looking for, and they've got 4 openings, and they've got lots of testing going on, so they're taking care of that. The fire department, they're up about 5%. They had 523 incidents in the month of April, and year to date it's about 2,137. Homeless response data, they had about 40 calls in the month of EMS calls, about 12 fire response calls. I did ask about that, and he said that's just fires not being, in the right place. It's not, they have to go and tell them to put their fire back, because they're having a fire in the wrong spot. So they're taking care of that, and people are telling, so that's good. So overdose response data, year to date is about 82 overdoses. I didn't ask how successful they were in bringing people back from that, but that's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. They did have a big fire last night that they helped with at the United Christian Church. And they were able to successfully put that out and try that. And so I'm going to turn this over to, Chair Morrison to, do our.
Thank you very much. Tonight we have a public hearing on Bill 24-01, an ordinance adopting the 2021 International Building and Fire Codes. I move that we open the public hearing.
First and second is in session. All in favor to open the public hearing?
Aye.
Opposed? And where's the public hearing?
Being done, I move that we close the public hearing. Second.
All in favor to close the public hearing? Opposed? Public hearing is closed.
And under ordinances, we have the second reading of Bill 24-01, an ordinance adopting the 2021 International Building and Fire Codes. I move we adopt the second reading.
Moved in second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Page. All right, now to go to public works, Chairperson Mullins.
Thanks, Mayor. Public hearing on Bill 24-02, an ordinance amending AMC 13.60.010 to create a new rate for irrigation system water consumption. I move that we open this public hearing.
Moved in second to open the public hearing. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It passes that we're in public hearing. If anybody wishes to comment, you have 3 minutes.
Seeing none, I move that we close the meeting.
First and second to close the meeting. All in favor? Opposed? Opposed?
And moving on, public hearing on the top 3 alternatives for the North Aberdeen Bridge project. I move that we open this public hearing.
Been first and second to open a public hearing on the North Aberdeen Bridge project. Is there a discussion? All in favor? Opposed? We're now in public hearing. Anybody would like to comment on the North Aberdeen Bridge comment? Your project, you have 3 minutes.
And you can talk about all of the alternatives, not just the 3, but you can talk about any one of them if you would like.
Seeing none. Oh, wait a minute.
Do I need to stand or?
You can stand it.
Chris? Yeah. I will object. That's all important for, I just want to encourage you to look at, I believe that it's option 2B that, for the bridge, which allows the use of the current bridge as it is. So you're not building a temporary bridge. Using the existing bridge, during construction, then building the new bridge. But you don't have to make pedestrian and bicycle lanes, you can make it just vehicle traffic. And keep the old bridge as a pedestrian, bicycle, space, public space that I'm not saying that we should build a park today, but there are people around this planet that would pony up $10 or $20 or $50 to somehow commemorate, you know, the creativity of that person. And I think that it's an opportunity for us to do something that people around the globe have come and will continue to come. So it's going to stimulate the local economy. And I think it's something where local kids that are into music, you know, maybe it becomes a gig space where on a sunny afternoon, a bunch of kids can get together and play music on the bridge. And I think that's something that would be real good for our community. So I want to encourage you to keep the bridge in its entirety. And and let it be, more than, it's not just a bridge, it's something that we can create, we can connect to the creativity of our community there, so.
Like that. Yeah. That's personally my choice too. I think it'd be great, it gives us a great opportunity in our community to build on something that will bring tourists to our community. Just one more thing that we can add to give us the 4 hours that we need to be a destination, tourist destination.
Number two. Yeah. So, in the, here, no, we need to long walk tour. Yeah, so our tour guide pretty much volunteered his time the other day. He's constantly telling people at the bridge that he's working with, he spent 7.5 hours just giving people tours that were coming into town and bringing them into town and showing them the other pieces of Aberdeen. And so I do have to say that it's a very challenging thing for everybody, but I do believe that you're right on. It's a significant thing. The bridge advertises Aberdeen every day around the world. And if you want to come up with a better media campaign, if you can afford, let me know what it is. That's free.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Curtis from the Tangerine Tree Records. I have people coming into my store constantly from Chile, Mexico, New York, all over. And they're saying they're coming here to be near Kurt Cobain, near that bridge. So if we do something other than two, I think we're gonna economically hurt this area way more than we imagine. So I just want to say that, like, I mean, I have on my page, people come all over. I had the mayor of Rainier come talk to Aberdeen saying, hey, don't do this. So if you want to see that, I'll post it again. But we have a friend who's an author writing a book. She got a petition out. It's over almost up to 2,500 people on it so far petitioning to say, hey, no, we don't want this bridge to go away. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Jamie Judkins, Ward 4, and I just want to speak to options 1 or 2. I really commend what they've done in presenting everything to us and trying their hardest to preserve the bridge, because I think it's very important to keep it, and I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Second, and I work for.
Anybody else? All right.
See no more, I move that we close this meeting. Public hearing.
All in favor? Opposed? Opposed.
Okay, next. Request from Public Works recommending the city council authorize the mayor to execute the interlocal agreement between the cities of Aberdeen, Cosmopolis, and Oakland to develop a comprehensive stormwater plan. I have been moving to read about this report.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to adopt the report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed?
Request from Public Works recommending that the city council authorize the mayor to execute the MOU between Grays Harbor County and the city of Aberdeen for reimbursement of North Shore levy expenses, included with the March 7th, 2024 letter. I move that we adopt this report. Thank you.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, excuse me, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Report is adopted.
A resolution setting the date of May 22nd, 2024 for a public hearing on the proposed revised and extended 6-year transportation improvement plan for the years 2025 through 2030. I move that we adopt this resolution.
Second. Been moved and seconded, is there any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Resolution carried.
This will be resolution 2024-10.
A second reading of Bill 24 -02, an ordinance amending AMC 13.60.010 to create a new rate for irrigation system water consumption. I move that we adopt this report.
Been moved and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed?
That's all for public works, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Let's move to special agenda items from Council President Morrison.
Okay, under reports, we have a request to the council to approve $10,000 of council funds to be used to establish a micro grant program for placemaking and micro grant program for security. I move that we adopt this report.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this?
So this particular item is just for discussion tonight. It's not promoting it to approve or move forward. We just wanted you all to, if you had any questions regarding discretionary funds or what the micro grant is about.
And this is
For approval? It says discussion. So, okay. If you would like to move forward with it, make it.
Yeah, it appeared in our package like it was an action item and I think everybody was probably supportive of it. So.
Okay.
yeah, this is for the downtown.
Correct.
It's not for the whole city, it's just for the downtown.
Right.
Yes. And that'll be through the Downtown Business Association.
Correct.
Any more discussion?
Only discussion that I have, and I mentioned this to Director Scott, I this is just for the downtown Aberdeen Association. I'm glad to see it, I'm glad to support it, but we have so many other vibrant businesses all throughout our city. It would be nice if we could inject some kind of funding somewhere to those businesses in the future, just something to think about.
I agree, and right now, the one thing we do have is the Good Neighbors Revolving Loan Fund. That offers 2% loans to businesses to do HVAC repairs, roof, and it's substantial funding for those things as well as facade improvements. So do encourage, that is open. So I would encourage there, but we will definitely look in the future of expanding.
Put that up broadly. So
Yes.
so that it's available.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any more discussion?
I was under the impression that other businesses in the downtown district could apply for these grants through the recipients of
The
current,
downtown Aberdeen.
through DA,
Yeah,
right?
that's who they were.
So say any business in downtown Aberdeen could apply through DA for the Spiker grant to improve their storefront, correct?
I believe, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they can also apply for the Good Neighbors.
Yep.
We have, well,
clarify. So I think that it would be great for businesses all over Aberdeen and we know the story is, there's not much money to help so many of them, right? But this is really an opportunity for us to demonstrate that, we put a lot of money into some deteriorating the cost of other things in our business until that holding them. And I would love to tell you that we could help every business in Aberdeen, business for businesses in the UID. So if that expands, so will this. But money don't go so far. So we're gonna get vetted as well as we can. This is a test. We like to come back and say, look how things have changed right here. I think every one of you would like to see everybody in this room would like to see some wonderful things happen downtown. So I'm just trying to clarify for businesses that are listening online. I support you too. I just realized that this is our little area is the ID, which is still 32 blocks. So we want to talk about expanding that. I'm open to that. I would probably want some help, but yes.
Thank you for that clarification, Well, and I totally recognize that this is for those downtown businesses and you guys at VA do good work. I guess I'm just kind of putting the onus on the city to maybe help with the other businesses. So keep doing what you're doing, and I think this is a really good start. A lot of folks down.
Any more discussion? All right, all in favor? Opposed?
Okay, and I have a request to the council to schedule a council workshop for June 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. to go over the draft zoning code. And we adopt this report.
Moved in second to adopt the report. Is there any discussion? Lisa?
Oh, real quick, I just want to say that, so the committee's been working, over the last year, and we're wrapping down the chapters, and we should have the draft out for everyone on June 5th. We'd want to do a workshop with council on the 19th. And then we would hope to have the first reading of the ordinance adopting the new zoning code on July 24th. So that'll give us a little bit over a month to review and go through that. But that will be available. We're aiming for June.
And will it have to be here?
No, the Log Pavilion is booked that night, so we are looking for a location at this point. I'm gonna reach out to the library. We may end up at the library.
And is there any way we can change it to 6:30 just for familiarity of starting time?
Yeah, we can. I'll check with the consultant. So we should be fine on this.
Just wanted to keep the half an hour voice there with the applicant, must not voice. A voice like, my man, no, it's a half an hour, we still. Let's keep my time.
Duly noted. We'll change that.
Any more discussion?
My only concern with the 19th date is that conflicts with the AWC conference. Did anyone else plan to attend that this year? Or just me? Okay.
All right, we'll make it all in favor. Opposed? Carried. Okay, I did my proclamation early, so we could just skip that part. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to public comments. The 3 minutes, you can comment on anything, because that will advise to your neighbors. Please give your name and your ward number or your address. Go for it.
So I have my plan.
Can you use the mic here?
I'm Gail Anderson. I'm in the local Coffins Scrots building downtown. Anyway, I am all for getting the homeless places to stay. I currently have a couple that is camping in front of my building. I gave them permission because I'm working with Michelle at Tectonics for trying to find them a place to stay. But it seems that we did find them, or Michelle found them some places. This woman is currently about 8.5 months pregnant, and I think needs meth treatment. And but they were supposed to check in this morning. They didn't. They have all these excuses. The city asked them to move. They had an excuse that their tire was broken, and Michelle even said she would store stuff for them when they went into rehab. Well, it's apparent to me that they don't want to get the help. And I was wondering about how can we get people help that don't want it, and like when we're to move them to the mini village. And is there anything that we can do to can't help? Yeah, it's sad because we tried.
I just don't want to be standing right over you. I was late, so I didn't have the first few public comments tonight. But, I wasn't present in person at the last council meeting, but I did listen to it via conferencing and, integrity matters. And there's a lot going on in our city. And people are watching you. Everyone sitting at this table here was elected by people who are counting on being represented by you. And we close the doors to our public meetings. And we oust our council president. And we evict our most educated person serving in our city with a PhD on a public health issue that is poisoning our town. Why are we getting rid of Lena Moore?
I can answer that if you want.
No.
I'll give a comment.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna take you 3 minutes before you give me an answer to that. I'm appalled, which may not surprise some of you because I'm not, I don't hide those feelings about these issues. We've been facing this for a long time. We've been needing to find solutions and we've been getting lots of excuses and we need to do something, like it's far past time. People have run for office and straddled the fence and changed their position on things, kind of go along, we get along. I was driving over here today and I did stop and take pictures of near your business. I did come and talk to you when I was running for city council. I see what's going on. It's still going on. My dear mother said, we're just gonna get more of these abandoned motor homes. And what's happened over by where bridges used to be, there's another one sitting there. Guys, the problem's just gonna get so big, we can't control it. So you've got to go to the cities that are managing it and find out how they're doing it. Not say, we're gonna make a name for ourselves and solve this. Go drive over there. That land that you're thinking of purchasing is not gonna be worth what you're thinking of paying for it before the ink is even dry on the paper that you're proposing to sign to buy it. What are you thinking? You had judges here and mayors here and so many people here last week telling you, don't do it. You've got to listen. We need solutions, but don't do it.
Any more discussion?
I'll take your answer about Lane more too. I don't understand.
Yeah, so I changed the committee because the committee serves at the mayor's, but it's my committee. The people who are on it are there to help me and help guide me in the direction that I think that I need to go in.
No,
Please.
yeah, no, yeah, loud.
Please, there are, we want all opposing views. The thing is, I will not tolerate somebody being on my committees telling me one thing and then having me feel like there's things going on and things that are behind my back. I'm not gonna tolerate that. It's my committee. I'm fair and honest. That's it.
Honest.
So I'm gonna give you fair and honest. I said that. I try to be as honest as I can, and I don't like. If you have an issue and you're on one of my committees, I want you to come to me and tell me that. I don't want you to go to your friends and talk behind your back and sabotage and set it down. So the committee meeting is there for us to discuss things, work things out, find out what we can do. It's not to put on a show and act like you're wanting us to move in one direction and then at a council meeting sabotage the work that we just did. So that was my decision to change. I didn't take everybody that disagrees off because I'm wise enough to know that I need to hear from all sides. But I am not going to let somebody who I didn't feel was getting us in the direction that we need to go. We need to have action. We need to stop kicking the can down the street. The people in our city are more important to me than people who don't live in our city. And I mean, I love everybody, but my businesses, my community, the people who I answer to, I need to think about their interests first. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not ready to get rid of that plan until I researched it and found out that it actually might not be viable. If it's not viable, I'm all for finding another location, but I'm not gonna have people who are in the guise of guiding me or demanding and threatening or sneaking. I'm not gonna have that crap. That's crappy. I'd love to meet with you anytime you want to. Anybody who wants to talk is welcome. Meet me and talk face to face. The behind the scenes, secrets, all that crap. I don't go for that. I just tell me what's on your mind.
Mr. Mayor, if I may respond, I have been more than consistent for the last 2 years in committee.
So we're not gonna get anywhere if everybody's talking. Have your 3 minutes to come up and talk.
So if I can interrupt, this is public comment period. We're gonna do our 3 minutes for each public comment that would like to speak at this time. There is another opportunity in the good of the order for council members to speak again, but at this time, let's continue with our public comments.
Okay. So it's still 3 minute public comment, so please be kind. That's.
Okay, I don't know how this is gonna come off because I forgot my hearing aids, so I can't hear anything. But I just wanted to say that, I was at that, committee meeting when, Casey Ann Morrison and Deanna spoke out against, well, what you were speaking of. There was even a heated argument from the representative from Canada, so you knew at that meeting that there was opposing views before this even came before a vote. So I don't think you standing there and saying that they were going out behind other people, behind your back and doing this. That has been their stand for years. You just came on the scene in January. We've been out here for 7 years fighting this. So they knew they work with that all the time. Casey's down there cleaning out those camps every single week. And she knows what goes on. And furthermore, to turn around and ask her to remove herself, or you remove her from the county homeless committee that she was appointed to. She was appointed as the representative of the city of Aberdeen. Now there is Sorensen from Elma that is sitting there representing the city of Elma. And he at one time was a city employee, but you don't have to be a city. I think Elaine is representing the city of Hope River. So why do you make a big deal and announce and everything else that she's got to come before council to be voted in to see if she can stay there when it has nothing to do with you? I understand Vicki Raines, county commissioner, wrote you or talked to you or something and said that it had nothing to do with the city of Aberdeen, that you aren't even involved in this. And she actually wants Casey to stay on, but Casey's left because you have made it too difficult for her. Everything that she does, you bug. You seem to forget that you're sitting in you're in a government that's a republic. And it is not okay, everybody. You have to think like I think, or you're not going to be in my game. You have to accept other people's views when you're sitting here on a government board. Instead of saying it's either my or the highway. Understand, we told everybody at the new gathering yesterday, anybody that's in opposition to what's going on here, I will remove you, because everybody's going to be in agreement, or the king has spoken. And I think you better get off your high horse and start looking at what the people are having.
Mr. Mayor, point of order, this is the time for public comment.
No.
What?
If you become insulting or.
No, I can be anything. Look at me.
The public can use comments.
The public can come down hard on you. You can't with me, but the public can come down on you. And boy, I think it needs to really come down on you. Because you have walked in and you have said that you were not even going to be comments in that. and you walk in and think you know everything, buddy, you're just learning.
Steve Haywood, Ward 4. Robert's rules. The public has the right to make personal, critical, and harsh remarks. The public does not have to follow the same rules as you elected officials have to follow. And you talk about lying and deceiving. 8.5 months now, I've been waiting for records requests. After the last time I spoke about it, I got half of those records. I'm still waiting. There was nothing wrong 8 months ago with the records requests until somebody went in and changed things all around. And now, is it just me that am not getting the records requests? Why? That's what I want to know. And why do you get rid of people off committees that don't think like you? You don't want to kick the can down the road anymore? Seattle, $1 billion in the last 5 years. It has helped not one bit. California, $20 billion in the last decade. It's getting worse. So this business that you guys want to not kick the can down the road, oh, we got to do something. It's only for a few people, so you can pat yourselves on the back. Thank you.
Giving me some courage around here. So, like I said, I moved here in October of 22, and right from the get-go, I was terrorized by my neighbors completely. Thank you for the Aberdeen Police Department for being so diligent and caring to come every time I called. And if it wasn't for that, and the fact that they were really helping me stick up for myself, I don't know what would have happened because I was in a nuisance area. And honestly, with the RV thing, I didn't like the answer. She's asking for help to get these people out from in front of her building. That, if we could do help them. Right, help them. Don't just wait, oh, then we can't do anything about it because they get to stay there. I have an RV across the street from me too, that was involved in the harassment that I've been dealing with for the last 1.5 years. And the only reason it hasn't been going on the last 2 months is because of the Aberdeen Police Department coming and keeping me in line myself because I was losing my mind. So it's just sitting there collecting garbage. I've called code enforcement a couple of times, and it took me harassing code enforcement to get them to come clean up the garbage, but it's still sitting there with no electricity, no garbage service, no sewer service, with people living in it. How is that acceptable? That is not acceptable. And help this lady get those people, a pregnant woman too, in an RV out in front of her place? Come on now, ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Warren?
All right, so I'm Rochelle Nipper. I am from Ward 5, but I'm not talking about Ward 5 at all. This does have to do with homeless, but I'm representing the school district. Look, I have to go out to Judy once a week, at least, because you guys see, you think, oh, there's like maybe at most 5 kids housed out there. There's 20. We have over 70 kids that go out there every single day for school. Half of them have to walk through Horse Riverfront Park and out there because we don't have busing service for all of them. You want to put the homeless out there right next to them. It's not gonna be okay. The district's not gonna be okay with that. We have to go out there every day. I'm able to be a para, but we also have truancy court out there, which then has over 200 people going out there. Put homeless out there, you have kids waiting for the rides. What's gonna happen to them?
I'm not gonna yell that probably. I just think that every single one of you needs a nice little reminder that you guys work for them. You're not supposed to be comfortable. You're not supposed to expect everybody around you to create comfort for you. You need to hear the hard things. You need the different opinions. Otherwise, what are you doing? Because you have how many angry people here telling you you're doing it wrong? So why surround yourself by the 6 people patting you on the back? It's not gonna make any change. Everything's wrong right now. Everything's bad right now. Mad. Because you're surrounding yourself by people saying you're doing a great job. Just keep on doing that. But that is what has everybody here pissed off. Thank you.
There's more time.
I'm not finished.
My name's Hubert Arundel. I moved here about 7 or 8 years ago, and we live over on Bay Avenue. And I want to impress upon you how the volume of the train horn has increased substantially. It was white noise basically. We got used to it pretty quick. Beep, beep, two. You can notice the patterns if you live there. We're 4 blocks away from the railroad. Now it is very loud. It seems as though there's 2 engineers, one that is kind of reasonable to be, there's another person that is letting it go for 7 seconds at least, and it's triple the volume that it used to be. They have a daycare up on the corner there, and I don't even know how those people get an ounce of sleep at night. And we all knew since the new grain elevators went in, it was going to increase a bit. The lots are full with automobiles, and I was hoping that maybe they would achieve their goal. But my wife works in property management, and she is getting no sleep at night because of how loud these things are.
All hours.
And not much in the daytime. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
It's all at night. And I think it's unreasonable. I spoke to an officer, and he assured me that if it was the dog barking, they could come address it. But since it's the railroad, they don't have any.
We do have reports. We can all
A little bit of discretion on how long that horn goes, and I don't know if they can turn the volume down. I know the explanation I got was about homeless maybe on the tracks and the safe age crossing, blah, blah, blah. But why did it change 2 months ago from 6, 7 years of living in that residence?
Might be just an in-person one.
Well, he's taking his job very passionately.
Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys are running out to the rail. Good, that's all I got.
Any council people have anything for the order?
I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for coming for whatever reason you were here. If you spoke or not, this is what we need for civic engagement. So I love seeing the room filled, so thank you. I'm not gonna go into like responding to what the mayor had to say. I think it stands on its own and it's correct with this committee. You can do that. I acknowledge that. But he's got his perception and I put out a statement, that you guys can go read on Facebook, I have a council page on Facebook. All I will comment is that I have been more than consistent in the 2 years that I've been on that committee. When this RFP proposal for Junction City came before the committee, I voiced my concern very early on about language in that RFP. Wasn't news, wasn't sneaking around me. I've been very vocal about it. The change in opinion when it came to Lena and myself as far as the location of Junction City, when we were presented with new information that we were not presented in committee for the 2 years leading up to the site selection. So that's all I've got to say about that. Yeah, anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for your email. Appreciate all your support.
You guys can hear me. So for the good of the order, I want you to know that there are people on this council, we all want to solve the problem. You know, and I had a business downtown and I dealt with it, and Chief will attest to the fact that I constantly complain about people who are living in their vehicles by my business. I would like to see a solution. You know, I've been told that if, you know, we purchase a piece of land, you know, where we can send these vehicles, you know, then we can get them out of town. But I don't know, every other town around here seems to be able to get them to move along and Aberdeen doesn't. You know, so are we forced to purchase something where we can send people, you know, to get them out of our downtown area, to get them away from our businesses? You know, I think everybody really wants to see a solution. I'm kind of a one person issue, you know, this is why I ran for council. I don't want to see a lot of money wasted and taxpayers' money spent, you know, on something that we can't afford to do, but I do think we need a place for people to go. It may not be Junction City, but we're kind of trapped by this problem, you know, and so I sympathize with you because I dealt with the downtown issue. I dealt with having a campground. I mean, you know, I've dealt with having the warming shelter by him. We know it's not good for business to have them in town. So I think we want to find a solution. I think our dispute is over, you know, what direction we're going to go, how much money we're going to put into it, how much we're going to support. You know, some people are really locked in their ideals and they want to do all of this stuff, you know, and others of us just want a simple solution that would save Aberdeen. And I would love to see us be able to come to an agreement on it, and all of us. I mean, the town and your ideas as well as the council's ideas as a whole. You know, I know it's a lot easier to say, okay, everybody who agrees with me, let's go this direction, you know, but I've seen Aberdeen waste a lot of money and I don't want to see that happen, you know, and I think we could be into this for millions and, you know, bankrupt ourselves. So I think it would be more than my opinion.
Mayor, may I ask one question, please? So what happens, you guys spend all these billions of dollars on this, whatever you call it. And these people under the bridge tell each and every one of you to stick to backside because there are too many rules out there.
Yeah, we have laws on the books that once there is a facility that we can have these people.
You've got laws on the books right now.
Yeah, but we don't have a facility for us to be able to say, you can go here. We don't have the right to support that. We have to offer them to a place. That's the
You
law.
don't have to offer them.
We do, that's the law.
You can give them the same excuses.
We can arrest them all, throw them in jail, that would do, because.
Just a reminder, public comment period is over. If you have comments, you can always schedule a meeting or send an email and we can respond that way, or we'll have another 2 opportunities at our next meeting.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear a word. No, really, I didn't.
All right, so
I apologize for the acoustics of this building. They're terrible. I'm deaf in my right ear and I have a very hard time hearing, especially when there's not enough microphones to go around. So hopefully this issue will be rectified before our next meeting.
yeah, but you're welcome anytime you want to call me or talk, or Ruth for that matter, it doesn't matter, we'll talk to you. You know, the thing with talking to people and presenting an idea is a wonderful thing. Coming up to somebody and getting in their face and demanding. I'm not talking about you in particular, I'm just saying everybody. Getting in people's faces and demanding that it's our way. You're doing exactly what you're saying that we're doing. We're not doing it that way. It's not our way, that way. We're here to get everybody's input.
Did
anyone else have any good of the order?
Yeah.
I move to adjourn.
Well, we have somebody. Yeah.
The council is deciding to fire departments, they're doing a great job, they're giving the best they can. Stop getting this guidance from the council to follow the law, rules and ordinances that we have in place. You don't need any more ordinances or law or rules, but you can follow the ones that have.
Again, public comment period is over. We have a motion on the floor to adjourn in a second.
And that's what you do while you're trying to have a meeting, you want to play, and you don't want to listen to this guy.
So you guys heard your second, all in favor of adjourned. Opposed? It's adjourned. So I'm like,